Bizarre Brain Comics. Well, hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time we're going to have another look at Plop. It's been several years ago. I covered an issue of Plop before, and have shown several issues as a group here. Well, this time I'm going to take a look at issue number 10 from 1975, DC Comics, the magazine of weird humor, Plop. 25-cent cover price, and and of course Plop is known for this weird, bizarre cover illustrations, mostly done by Basil Wolverton, and some were done by Wally Wood. But everyone loves the Wolverton ones best, and I'm a big Wolverton fan. For both his science fiction and horror and his really bizarre humorous ones. And this character is Fitz Flegel. He made his debut as a tap dancer at age 2. Gave up showbiz with the demise of vaudeville. Has since become wrapped up in his own successful exterminating business as a super cockroach stomper. Yeah, that's funny. Now, of course, Plop is a humor magazine, and the primary one of the primary forces in Plop is Sergio Aragones, who I'm such a big fan of Sergio. I've talked about him so many times in so many different contexts, including Plop and Mad Magazine, and of course Gru. And you can see all this little side stuff around here, around the main image on the cover, which is kind of copying some of the early Mad Magazine issues were done like that, and of course Wolverton did a lot of covers as well as interior bizarre stuff for early Mad Magazine. But Sergio did all of this stuff. And of course, as bizarre as it sounds, Plop fits into the DC's horror mystery titles. Yes, because it has the horror host. The stories are primarily of a horror nature, done humorously with twists and stuff, and funny cartoon style artwork, and of course it features our horror hosts Cain, Abel, and Eve from the other DC horror mystery titles such as House of Mystery, House of Secrets. Oh, I couldn't remember the word. And so many other titles. So let's have a fun little look at Plop. More the Sergio marginals here. And here we go, our splash page, which features, still done by Sergio, features Cain, Abel, and Eve. And this is, even though it's got a March 75 cover date, would have hit the stands in December, so it's a Christmas issue and story. And here we have our titular horror hosts. They're in Santa's workshop up at the North Pole, and they're stowing away in Santa's sleigh. There Santa is, and he takes off to make his deliveries, and then they pop up and scare the crap right out of Santa, and then they start tormenting him with their horrible stories. Said, let's tell you the stories, Santa, and then we get into the actual stories. That's just the framing sequence. And our first story is Androclutz and the Lion, which, of course, is a take on the Aesop's Fables story of Androcles and the Lion. And here's Androclutz as he's very kind-hearted, loves animals, always wanting to be helpful, and then it always turns and backfires on him, like kids throwing rocks at this dog. He intervenes to stop them, and then the dog chases him and going to help this lady across the mud. He slips and falls, and she steps on his head, and everybody walks across the puddle on his back. And then in the army on a ship, the commander slips and falls overboard, being dragged down by his armor. Androclutz removes his armor, goes down to save the commander, removes his armor, and then he gets in trouble for losing the commander's armor. And he's walking in the forest one day, and he comes across, this poor old lion. This poor lion with a thorn in its paw. Oh, and he removes the thorn from the paw, and then the lion is just like a little kitten to him, and he can talk. He said, yeah, we can talk, we don't talk around people. Of course, but only because you're such a good man. We only speak to the better sorts of people. After all, we lions are our kings. We don't hobnob with just anybody. And then he turns and goes plop off a cliff. Later, I forgot. This art is done by Manak. What was his first name? Dave Manak. And again, intervening, he gets in some cruelty. He gets in trouble, and he winds up getting thrown into the arena with a bunch of lions. He recognizes the lion he helped, and says, I'll speak to him and help protect me. And he says, quiet, you idiot. If they find out I can talk, they'll have me out front as a barker. And he turns to the others. Guess what, fellas? This is the guy who pulled the thorn out of my paw. Oh, in that case, we won't touch him. Right. I get to eat him myself. And he pounds it. So everything always works backwards for him. Then have a variety of pages of gag cartoons. New heart transplant helped me keep it going. Impossible brain damage is there. Prison plops on the rack. Oh yeah, I'm really going to do them. Just funny stuff. And then we're back with our horror hosts and Santa is not is not thrilled. Goes down the chimney, and Eve goes down with him to tell him the story, and things are spoiled. And the story she's going to tell is a change of diet. And here we have a mad scientist's laboratory. This is a guy who deals with lizards, and you can see all different kinds of varieties of lizard and lizardy type critters. And this is his assistant, and this assistant is talking directly to the audience, breaking the fourth wall. And he says, Professor Fapp, he developed this. He shows it on the desk. This little critter, which is actually a dragon, and he developed it by crossing so many different lizards together. And said, but the real secret is the diet. He feeds it special diet, and here, whoosh, you can see a little flame lights his pipe. But then he goes, whoosh. Oh, but there's Big Max over in the other room. He started out little like that one, but he got big by feeding him all kinds of vitamins. And he got real big, and they got him chained up so keep. But he's constantly hungry, and we feed him all kinds of wood. He likes mahogany the best, and not so good on the charcoal. And the boss scientist has chastised the assistant for talking directly to the reading audience. So don't talk to the readers. And said, you have to keep your when you're working around dragons, you have to keep your attention. And and don't get distracted. And so here he's talking to the audience, and then suddenly, says he ate the ladder. Wow, how do you like that? This is ridiculous. What will he eat next? Gulp. Well, he ate him next. Then the scientist comes in and realizes that Herbie's been eaten. Sees his glasses and stuff there on the ground, and the ladder all gone. Oh no, you ate Herbie. And then he turns to the readers and starts chastising. It's all your fault. You encourage him by listening to him. I warned him. Don't talk to the readers. Gulp. And then he gets eaten because his attention was distracted. Monster Plops, all more gag cartoons featuring monsters, as if monster cartoonists. And he's got, instead of regular bolts, he's got the pencil through his head. How many times do I gotta tell you guys, if you're gonna have a dog, you gotta keep him tied up? Of course, it's the werewolf. Bedtime stories. In the older ghost reading a story to the little kid ghost with his teddy bear in the graveyard. Other funny little things. I always loved it. Then it's back to Santa and stuff, and this time it's Kane going to tell the story, and he follows Santa down the chimney, and he's just pestering. And this one is The Secret Origin of Grubel Man, written by Steve Skeets, and this one is drawn by Sergio Aragonis. And here, it really reminds me, the way he's drawn here, makes me think of Wonder Warthog. And here's this guy who's going to become a superhero, and he's looking through all kinds of stuff, ancient mystical texts, and then he finds a magic word. He goes, Grubel. Yeah, that's the word. And he's suddenly super powerful. He can hold it, holding stuff up. Oh, but then it gets heavy, and he says the word again, Grubel, and his power is back. So he says, well, it lasts for about 62 seconds, and then I have to say the word again. But now he makes himself a superhero costume, and he's out looking for crime, but he can't find any. Finally, he sees these bank robbers going into a bank, and he comes in, and he said, and draws down on on them, says Grubel, and starts kicking their butt. And Grubel, he says it again and again. Finally, the head bad guy, who looks like Sergio, he puts two and two together, and he says the word Grubel. So he's super powerful, and he starts beating the crap out of the superhero, out of Grubel Man. Others put the words together, and the security guard says Grubel, and he starts pounding. And the one of the customers, she does the same thing, and pretty soon everyone is super powerful, going Grubel, beating the crap out of each other. And he goes, and he went, it's getting out of hand. I'm getting out of here. There must be a better way to become a superhero. Maybe if I go home and fix up some sort of magic potion. And that's funny. And then more gag cartoons. Plops. Guy put his head in the cement instead of his feet. Gourmet Plops. Things about food and other stuff. And then on the inside cover of the last page, is the end of our stuff with Santa, and Santa says, I have to drop you off here. I can't let him at the elves see you. They'll be jealous. I had someone else with me. So go, ho 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 ho. He goes, but he rides off and goes, ho 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 ho. And they're talking, that's fine, that's nice. Then they say, wait, penguins? This is the South Pole. Oh, crap, we got a long way to walk. Says, you know what I think about always getting plopped at the end of this magazine? I'll tell you what I think about it. Ho, ho, hum. That's what I think about it. And that's Eve. She's always grouchy. So that's a lot of fun. I just love Plop. If you have never read any Plop, you've got to get your hands on some Plop sometime. And they're probably really inexpensive. This was inexpensive when I got it probably a few years ago. It's got water damage, but it's fully readable, and it's wonderful, just wonderful to read. My wife is a big fan of Plop, especially the Basil Wolverton drawings on the front. So that's it. Let me know what you think of Plop. Let me know. Have you ever read Plop? Have you collected Plop? Are you as big a fan of Plop as I am? Or do you think this is just stupid? Let me know that too. So please like, share, subscribe, leave your comments down below. And remember, as demented as it can be, comics are art.